As a Jamaican who spent all my life here, I have to say that I am proud to be Jamaican. There is just something about being Jamaican that, they say we have main character syndrome, and it's true. It is absolutely right. Jamaicans are fun-loving. We are a warm and genuine people. We're kind-hearted, even though we're miserable. There's a lot of things about Jamaicans that make us lovable. And a lot of those things make Jamaica on a whole the place to live, the place to be. Well, let's talk about it. I just watched a video from Jet Setting with Jackie. I'm going to leave the link in the description box below if you want to check her out. She's a Jamaican who's lived abroad for a considerable amount of years. I don't know how much, she didn't quite say in that video that I watched, but she has now returned to Jamaica to live, and it wasn't easy. So she spoke about some of the roadblocks that she has come up against, in her journey of repatriating home. I have considerably less roadblocks because I was only away for 3 years. However, I still have a few things to add to the conversation, so I wanted to jump in and share my experiences and maybe give some tips on how you can make this journey easier if you want to return home to Jamaica. So this video is going to be primarily for Jamaicans in the diaspora who want to return home at some point in their life, but it can also be for my digital nomads, like the journey that I just took, if you're considering Jamaica a place that you can come and live for maybe a year or two before you move on to another country. Now, I just had a wonderful conversation with Tiffany from Tiffany's Travels, where we were talking about some of the reasons why I left the USA and why it is that I wouldn't consider the USA as the choice of permanent home for me. And in that conversation we spoke about who I find is the ideal person who wants to return home, because I've spoken with many people in the diaspora who they want to return home. It's something that they long for, they look forward to it, they have no clue where to start. And so those are the people that I want to talk to in this video and give some tips and help them along their journey of how you can make that move, because I understand how difficult it is, even though I didn't come across some of the difficulties that others might face. And I also understand that it's not an easy road, as Buju Banton say. I know an easy road, but it is worth it. I understand that it is worth it to repatriate home. I made the leap. I went and lived in Mexico for 2 years, and then I was in the USA for 3 months, and I still decided to come back home because to me, no one no better than yard. And this whole journey of moving abroad and living abroad for a few years, even if it's only 3 years, has taught me personally. Me and my household at Jamaica, we live. We not live nowhere else because Jamaica sweet, Jamaica nice. But Jamaica have a lot of red tape. So let's jump into the first thing that she spoke about, is the red tape and the bureaucracy it's going to take for you to especially set up a business here. Now, if you want to move to Jamaica and set up a business, I've never gone through that process, but just listening to her talk about her story, it broke my heart for her and how much red tape she had to go through. Because as a Jamaican living in Jamaica, it's hard for us here already. So I can't imagine what it is like as a returnee who has never had these kinds of frustrations. Now, one of the things that I will say to that whole process is, if you want to come to Jamaica and you're going to start a business here, now is the time to make those connections and those links, because everybody knows that Jamaica run on links. It's who you know and who know you. So start coming back to Jamaica as often as you can afford to. Right now, if you're going to move in 5 years, you want to start making that journey back at least once or twice per year and making those inroads into whatever business you want. Because one of the things that she shared is that she mentioned trying to get a PPV license, a public passenger vehicle license, so that she can, do tours and stuff, carry people who pay her to take her around in her vehicle. And she said that it took her 2 years to first get the PPV, because they say that your Jamaican license has to be at least 2 years old, and then you still have to wait another 2 years in order to be able to drive around the people there. So that's 4 years worth of wait. Now, I don't know if this is a workaround, but if you know you want to come to Jamaica and do some kind of tour business, perhaps you come 5 years before you even move and get your Jamaican driver's license, and then perhaps another 2 years go by and you do the whole process. You get what I'm saying? You start to get that groundwork in even before you're on the ground. Now, this is just a suggestion I throw out there, not knowing if this is even possible. What I am saying though is that you have to do your research and make the proper inroads even before you touch down, because it now go easy and you're going to hit up against some roadblocks. This and several other points that I have in my list, it kind of boils down to one thing though, that I really want to say to my people in the diaspora where they are big foreign. And you and I know what we call big foreign. You're in US, Canada, or the UK, the big first world countries that a lot of us migrate to. You have to remember that those are first world countries, and you're coming back to little Jamaica, where we are a developing nation. It not gonna be as easy and as seamless. Lower your expectations, as much as it hurt me to say so. Jamaica, we just not there. We're not there yet in terms of doing business as easily and as seamlessly as it is in big foreign. So lower your expectations a little bit. Know that it's going to take some time. It's going to take blood, sweat, and tears. It's going to take a whole heap of frustration when you're dealing with government offices and agencies. It's not going to be an easy road, but it's so worth it. Like she said in her video, she's been here 4 years now, I think, and she does not regret her decision. I believe that's what I got from her video. I certainly don't regret my decision of coming back home. It's not gonna be an easy bump-free road of returning home, but it is so worth it. You're going to be giving up that big income and that hustle that you go overseas for, but you're giving it up, in my opinion, for a better quality of life. And so if you ask me why I returned to Jamaica, it is for that better quality of life. I'll expand more on that in a later part of this video, but let us talk a little bit about the safety and security concern that many returnees have. Now, this is something that I have been hearing from returnees even before I moved abroad. And one of the things that I did to kind of mitigate that for me and myself is to, even though I lived abroad, I came back to Jamaica at least once a year for a vacation. To me, that helped me to, you hear the news and it's very scary, but when you're on the ground and you can see and hear and feel and touch and get the news from your neighbor and your friend, it's a little bit different. You know how to move and walk when you're here on the ground. So if you can maintain that physical connection with Jamaica, come back as often as possible. If you believe in your heart that Jamaica is your home and you're going to retire there or you're going to move back there at some point, maintain that physical connection. It might not be every year, it might be every other year. Try and come back home as much as you can. It will help you to dissect what is sensationalism on the news versus what is true on the ground, because crime is here, crime there. Nah, take nothing away from that. Crime there everywhere though, and once you know how to move, you're alright. You know how to deal with the crime situation is what I'm trying to say. Because do I feel safer here than in Mexico or in the US? In certain instances, absolutely yes. In the US for sure, because, well, let's not get into it, but I will just say that, you know, the crime situation is what it is. Anywhere you go in the world, you just have to be smart about it and move about it well. But in the returnee situation, in the returnee case, we have seen a lot of instances where returnees are coming home and them own a friend and family targeting them, because I guess them things say you come back with a bag of money. I don't know, them see you build up your house over the years, them see you come now, you buy a car and you open business, and so them think you have money, and that puts a target on your back. You have to be extra smart about that whole returnee thing when you're coming back to Jamaica. Me and mine, I made sure that we moved into a gated community. We have security, it's just 2 women, you know. Me not advertise myself as any kind of returnee. Me not say to nobody, say like, the taxi man will drive you home, you know, but I tell him say you're a returnee, tell him say you visit for a 3 day, or maybe him not even if you know all of them situation. You have to be smart about it and be careful with who you tell what, because them are put a target on your back. Me not tell no lie, and 9 times out of 10 are somebody where you know. So you have to be smart. You have to know where you're moving. You have to take all of the security, measure them, and move with certain street smarts. And about make everybody know your business when you're returning to Jamaica. Now, why we think that we are returned with no bag of money? Me don't know, because I returned to Jamaica on an absolute shoestring budget. Me still asleep on earbed. Me not have no leave of furniture in my house. Not all of us are coming back as retirees with no bag of money. So I don't know where them get this notion from, but move smart. Just make sure you're not living a flashy lifestyle or whatever, because even in Jamaica here, you have to be careful how you move and how you walk. You don't want to put a target on your back. That said, I don't feel that Jamaica is any more unsafe than a lot of other places in the world. Yes, there are safer places. Where I'm coming from in Mexico, people tell me all the while, why you have in Mexico? Where I'm coming from, the particular city that I'm coming from in Mexico, felt much safer than here. But I came back for the quality of life. So once you keep your end goal in mind, once you know it's Jamaica nice and Jamaica sweet, and you're coming back for that quality of life, then you just move a certain way and know that certain things come with the move back. Now, speaking of that quality of life, one thing that I know that returnees are coming back, a lot of them, you don't have the social circles to move back into, and so now you come back and you're comfortable, you have your house and your car and whatever, you might even start up one little business, but you're bored, you don't know what to do or where to go or who to connect with. This is another thing that's going to be really, really easy for you to mitigate if you start the work from before you come back home. So you have hobbies over there in Big Foreign or wherever you're coming from. Look up and see what you can find here on the ground. For me and my daughter, she loves tennis, so before we even started coming back, I'm looking into tennis classes. Where can I put her into so that she can make friends again as soon as we hit the ground? You know, whatever it is that you're into, there's probably some kind of group here in Jamaica that loves that activity or that social circle as well. Start to look them up. Make a friend or two. Reach out to some people in the Facebook groups. Be active. You know, watch the YouTube channels and talk to people in their comments. I have met up with people before from my YouTube channel who we have a shared lived experience and they want to meet up, and I've been open to it in certain circumstances, and it has worked out beautifully. Some of them are even now lifelong friends. So don't be afraid. Don't be social anxiety. No matter with it, reach out to people and make friends. Even in our big old age, we can still make new friends, but you have to generally be the one to reach out and make people feel comfortable to come out and meet you. Don't bother with no creepy vibes. One thing I will say for certain, for sure, is that Jamaica is a slow pace of life. And when you're coming from first world to Jamaica, it is a change of pace, and for a lot of people, that's why they want to move back to Jamaica, is for that exact change of pace. It's a beautiful life. It is a life where you have your evenings free to go about your business. You have your weekends to go explore the beaches or the rivers or the markets or the hills or whatever you're into. You have time. You give up that hustle culture to come home to a slower pace of life. You don't have to work as hard to have a high quality of life, in my opinion, here in Jamaica. You do not have to work as hard. People always say all the time, say, why Jamaica rough? But once you have a little money in your pocket, it's nice. You're alright. And I agree. Jamaica is not a bed of roses. Some things are frustrating. The customer service, if you come from Big Foreign, you're used to people quick and fast, and at least they're polite. Yes, sir, brother. We have a reputation for horrible customer service, and it is something that we've started to glorify, and we want to mash it down. We need better customer service training. We need people who care. It's so funny to me that Jamaicans are known for our warmth and our personality and our hospitality. But when them in a government office or a business place, why them face office so and them miserable son them a deal with you like you beg them something? Mama Jesus. But anyways, I am here to say that my quality of life has vastly improved just making the shift back home. And so people will ask me, do I regret it? Absolutely not. How could I have known? And how could I have appreciated what I have here so much more if I did not go? Let me tell you something. Jamaica nice. The Jamaica nice. Just the freedom that you have to move about with certain ease. I can't describe it. It's something that you just have to come home and feel for yourself. And I feel a lot of us that are connected with the island still in some way, we take our little vacations here and we go up on the north coast and we chill out. You know, say Jamaica nice, you know it already. And so I am in support of even the ones who say, me not move back, would I never move back, Jamaica too hard, but they come here on their vacations every year. As long as you're connected with the island in some way, I am in support of it. For me, I would love to be bi-coastal. Is that a word? Because that means from East Coast to West Coast. No. Bi-countryal. I would love for Jamaica to be my home base and I have a little beach cottage somewhere, and then I can travel the world as much as I want and come back home to my little beach cottage and rest and relax, because that's what Jamaica is. And so while I understand and I share in a lot of the frustrations of, you know, a lot of these returnee videos that I'm seeing and how difficult it is to return home, I say to you that if you are even slightly considering it, the fact that you're watching this video now probably means that there's an inkling. I say to you, take the leap, but do it not blindly. Start your research, come home, get your feet in the water, make the inroads in the business, do what you need to do. And if you want me to, like, you know, outline any parts of the process, how to get a house, how to get an apartment, how to set up your lights and your internet and all your utilities, anything you want help with, you ask me in the comments below, and I will answer your questions, because I'm all for this returnee movement. I feel like Jamaica's a small island, you know, so we're going to feel the brain drain of the brightest people moving away because of opportunities. I love to see people return home as well, just if it's even just to enjoy the fact, say, life sweet yard. You don't have to work so hard, and also sad to spend all of this money. Life sweet yard. So anyway I can help, I will answer your questions to the best of my abilities. I hope this video inspired and motivated you to start the journey of seeing, I wonder if I really could have moved back to Jamaica. I wonder if I really could move back home. My name is Monique from Kingston, and I will catch you in another video. Thank you so much for tuning in.